This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Evening. Hello to all of our viewers and listeners out there. You are watching INC Radio Sacramento.
Whenever we need him, he's always there. There's no one else who does what he can do. Each time we seek him, oh, he always cares. Don't ever fear, he's just a prayer away.
Hello, viewers and listeners. Welcome to INC Radio Sacramento. It's your first time tuning in. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited that you're joining us. And also for those who are returning, we are so grateful that you are with us to spend. It is actually Saturday, Pacific Daylight Time. So thank you so much for joining us today. We have a lot of things to talk about today. Well, not too much. Today is going to be a first or two-parter, actually. We're going to talk about graduating. And what do you mean by graduating? Okay, graduating from university, college, some from high school or secondary or primary school. And we're just going to talk a little bit more about what those moments are. I am your host. My name is Lisa Mitchell, and I also have a couple other people joining me today. We have our lovely Hazel and lovely Atikare. I still have to call her Atikare. But if you'd like to introduce yourself, say a little bit about your day, and then we could get going. Anyone who wants to go first.
Awesome. Thank you. So hi, everyone, all of the viewers and listeners of INC Radio Sacramento. My name is Hazel. I am from the local congregation of Elk Grove here in Northeast California. If you don't know and you're just tuning in for the first time, Elk Grove is about 10 minutes out of Sacramento. So it's kind of the same place, a little more suburbs. So today, what did I do today? Today, I went to get coffee with my sister in the morning for her birthday weekend. So shout out to my sister in the very, very beginning. So I'm going to pass it to Auntie Care, who is here with us too.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I am Carolyn Shank, and I am here as well in this wonderful warm weather in Sacramento, again 10 minutes away from Elk Grove. Actually, technically I am in Elk Grove, and we are we are the same weather as Hazel. So we are out here, us ladies out here, to entertain you with our first part of graduating. I do want to say happy birthday though to Dave. Dave out here, his birthday will be tomorrow, so you see him, say happy birthday. So back to you,
Happy
back to you, Lisa.
birthday. Happy birthday to everyone. Oh my goodness. Have a big piece of cake for me. I love,
Okay.
I'm going to probably go get some cake today. Eat it on their behalf. So, as I mentioned earlier, again, welcome to everyone who's tuning in and also our guests, our lovely guests who have introduced themselves. I'm Hazel and Atikare. So we do want to ask a few questions for our panel. The first one is, when did you graduate from college or university? And talk a little bit maybe about your major, and are you still working in the same field as the major you graduated with? It's a little loaded, so let's go to Hazel, actually. Let's go, Hazel. So when did you graduate?
That's a very, very, very loaded question. I think there's a lot of things that I have to answer. I don't think that was a question, that was questions, plural. Okay, so the first one was when did I graduate from college or university? Okay.
Yes.
I graduated Okay. So I graduated from two different colleges. So the first college that I graduated from was for my associate's degree in liberal arts. Um, and that was specified in early childhood education or child development studies. And I graduated in the year 2016. I can't. I'm trying to remember how long ago was that. I think it was 2015. No, no, it wasn't. 2017. A little while ago. But the following years after graduating from what is known as community college or junior college, I went to universities, so Sacramento State University, and that year I graduated in 2019. 2019, I think, if I'm doing my math correctly. 2000, yes, 2019. Same major, um, child development, and then a bachelor's of arts in early childhood education emphasis. So yeah, lots of children. I think, and then am I working in the same field, right? Yeah, okay. So yes. Quick answer. Yes, I am. I am currently working at a preschool in the greater Sacramento area. And I work with children. I work with a lot of age groups, but my main age group right now is 3.5 to 4.5. So that's preschool age. At the beginning of the school year, I was working with toddlers. So that was 18 months to 2.5. And then next year, in the next school year, I'll be working with kindergarten and transitional kinder, so TK. So 5.5 to, I think, 6, or 4.5 to 6, depending on the program. But yeah, that's me.
So Miss Hazel, as most of her children know her as,
True.
Miss Hazel is a great teacher. She also herself helps during the children's worship service. So she's always with the children. Yes, she works really well with them. I've seen her in action. There are times where she
A little too
also,
much.
her teacher voice comes out and you're like, she means business. She is Miss Hazel right now. I don't think it matters if it's children or not. I've heard it in both ways.
It's the funniest part when it's with teenagers, because then they're just like, oh. Funny enough, I was able to luckily work with third graders for an after school program that was an extension of my company. And in preschool, like younger ages, they address you by your first name. And then, of course, when you go up to grade school, they address you by your last name. So for the first time, when someone said Miss Era, I was very like, whoa, what's happening? Who, my mom?
And they're like twice the height too, so you're looking down, but then
Yes.
and then you're like, oh wait, it's someone who's probably at my eye level.
Yes, these children are so tall. My goodness, they're just so tall. Like, I think all of them are almost about to be 5 feet, and I'm just 5 feet nothing.
Thank you for sharing, Miss Hazel. As you can tell, like it was like a long journey, right? So you did like lower level college, then higher level in university. And yes, you're still working in your field as Miss Hazel, or if we talk about the older kids, Miss Sarah. So thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, out the care. What about
This
you? So yeah, when did you
what's the
graduate and
question?
what was it for? Yeah, so when did you graduate? What was your major? And are you working in that same field?
Wow. Let me see. This is a long story here, but I want to try to make it short because this is many, 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 many years ago, and I'm going to reveal myself of what some people don't even know. But I did graduate a long time ago, and it was also for childhood education. It's been so long. I mean, it's been a while. So I did start with that, and I moved on, and I did get a degree in pediatric medical assisting, and I do have that as my background. But in between all that schooling, I did work to to pay for school and stuff. With kids, so I did work in a Montessori. I did work in daycares. I did work at at a toy store that had a big giraffe. I worked there for a little bit, so I look back and when I think about it, all my life it's just I've been working with kids. It's always been kids all the time, and then I get married and then I have kids, but then I stay home. So how I look at it is, our Almighty God kind of prepared me to have kids, to have to be able to take care of my kids, being able to stay home, being a stay-at-home mom for 24 years now. That education, that experience, and the kids that I dealt with, because I also dealt with, toddlers and first graders and after school, as well as a little bit older kids, and then actually took nanny. Can I say that? I did nanny for a little bit, and I did that background. And these are like newborns to until they go to school. So all this experience that I had for years, it actually prepared me for life. It prepared me to take care of my own kids that I have. So yes, do I still work in this environment? Yes, I do. And it's 24/7, and I'm still doing that, and it's still continuous and still a learning process. So that's a quick overview of my education and my experiences and my lifestyle now. Lisa,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
sharing. Oh, it's so interesting seeing how like the similar fields or majors that both of you graduated with, right? But the way you're implementing it into your life has two different ways, right? So it kind of makes you think like when you think about your major, or what you're trying to finish in terms of like college and university, like it makes you think about what can I really do with this and how many ways can this be implemented into my career or my life, right? So it's not just in one little place that your education like gets implemented to. It's different ways. And you just got to figure it out, right? You got to figure out what works best for you because Miss Hazel is a great teacher and Ate Kara is such a wonderful mother because I know her sons and they're such good children. And I just sit there and I go, yeah, they're both educated and then implemented it in a way that works best for their life. So I think it's very inspirational to hear two different accounts of the same major and how it played out. And it always works out in the end, right? Especially when you have trust in our Almighty God to guide us in the right direction. So I do want to take a moment to see what our live chat has been saying. What comments do we see? Can we have Miss Hazel help with that?
I think that this whole show I'm gonna be Miss Hazel, I feel. Okay. So in our live chat, thank you so much, everyone. The chat is alive and live and living well. And we are so grateful that you are here. So we are gonna give you your comments out on this live YouTube show. So good greetings, po, from the locale of Lathrop, hashtag NCL underscore Lathrop, from Brother Eddie Navong Jr. Hello, po. From a Patrick Lorenzo. Hello, po, from Tracy. From Sandy Carmesis, greetings, po, from the local congregation of Tracy. Hello, po, brethren, from Brother Nemo Pantaleon, our district CFO. Hello, po. From Rosario Carmesis, hello, and happy viewing, po, from the locale of Tracy. From Elenita Kanowski, hi, Auntie, hashtag NCL underscore Sacramento. Happy viewing from the locale of Sacramento. Hello to everyone. From Loy Kui, hi, Ate Loy. Happy Saturday, everyone. Exclamation point. Hashtag NCL underscore Livermore. from a Lenny Paringit. Good afternoon po, brethren, from the local congregation of Vallejo po. From from Efren Malvita and CL underscore Tracy. Greetings to everyone. From Zoe Malvita. Hi, Princess Zoe. Hashtag NCL underscore Tracy. Happy viewing to all the brethren. From Julian Gonzalez. Hi po, from hashtag NCL underscore American Canyon, 2 exclamation points. And from Brother Mark Irvin Mariano, hashtag NCL underscore Stockton. Congratulations to all students and graduates. One more from Marietta Miller. Hello po. Greetings from Medford, GWS, District of Oregon, the big O. So we want to hear more from you. Please give your shout outs to all of those who are graduating, who have graduated, or who are on the way to their graduation, because we do have winter commencement, I believe, in some parts of the states. So give out those shout outs, let us know, and we'll see you in the comments. Back to you, Miss Lisa.
Oh, I'm Miss Lisa today. Well, okay, then I might as well share my story. I also went to college for early childhood education, but my focus was more in organizational leadership, so administration. And actually, currently, I am in a administrative role for a company that provides childcare services. So from infants to grade 6, which is like age 12, 13. So yes, so those are the age groups that my company serves, and I help by enrolling these children into services with us. So yes, I'm also so my experience and my education in early childhood education or child development also has been applied differently in my situation. So, but I love being organized, getting all those different things that keep a business running essentially. So that's where my education has been utilized in that sense. So it is really fun to explore, um, your education and really learn what's out there. A lot of the times it will align with your interests. So that's like one of the things that I feel like you should point out today. There's a lot of things that, in terms of education, that you can do. So, but I do want to bring up the engagement question that we had. And I think it's more common now for this to happen. So I do want to ask our guest, Ms. Hazel and at the care, so how many times, and if it is applicable, right? How many times have you changed your major while you were in college or university? Was it always child development or early childhood education? Because I can admit it wasn't that for me. my
I
first choice, yeah.
I don't know.
Go
I
ahead.
think I think I think
Oh,
I did change a little bit. I did start off with the early childhood. I love kids. I loved kids even from the very beginning, especially the newborns. But I also wanted to go to the medical field. But again, it was just whether it was the time, whether it was financial, it was one of those that do I stick with the early childhood or do I go pursue this? And then there was just things that you wanted to do just totally off from either childhood or medical. You kind of jump and see, you kind of test the waters, right? But then it just was like, no, I don't think so. So I stuck with the kids, and that worked out a lot better. So maybe about 2 or 3 times, maybe for me on the change. Ace?
I for me, I changed my okay. I have to give the backstory. So going into I wasn't originally supposed to go to college. So I was supposed to go to, and Lisa knows this, I was supposed to go into the Air Force. I
Ooh.
trained, yes, I trained every single day with my dad because my dad was a Marine. Shout out to my dad. Hi, Dad. I know you're watching. Um, he's in the living room. Um, so
I see him.
I was supposed to go into the Air Force and be in the military because I wanted I wanted to have a good like basis because I knew one day I wanted to have a family, and I knew one day that I could go back to school and I could go to school and the military will help me get there because of I was starting from ground zero. I wanted to support myself because my parents have been supporting me for so long, and I wanted to show them that I could be independent. But I didn't get into the military, not because I wasn't qualified and not because I scored out. It was because of like very misleading paperwork that was done, not on my end, but regardless. So, because of that, I had gone to community college because what am I supposed to do on a 6 month, break when I couldn't re-enroll or like try out again for the ASVAB or the training. So I just went to school. And when I went to school, I was telling myself that I should at least start on what my major I wanted to get into after I got out of military school. So originally, I wanted to be a marine biologist. So I took up all of the biology and chemistry classes and all of the general education classes, and I needed one more class to fill in the full semester slot so that I could get funding for school because I was paying out of pocket. Um, so I took an early childhood education class, emphasis on math and sciences, and I only took that class because I knew one day I wanted to be a mom. And then I thought to myself, if I take this class, maybe I'll know how to be a better mom, or I'll know how to support them once they start kindergarten. So I took that class and I fell in love with everything. So uh, while going through college, I was double majoring at first and I didn't go back to the military, but then I created a bigger emphasis on early childhood education because I felt like it resonated with me so much more than the science field. So yeah, that's my life in a nutshell.
I feel like with education in general, like the learning process is like a science experiment because you try stuff and you're like, oh, that didn't work out. So like every time you're trying something new, it's almost like an experiment. So you kind
It
of get some
really
science,
is. It really
some kind of
is. It really is. My thesis statement every year was, if I do this, then maybe I can go here.
Actually, I was looking at the live chat and I want to bring this up. I think, who is it? Gaudi Glindro? He actually said he went to Sac State as well. So that is fun.
Yay!
I feel like I forgot about the Air
Alumni.
Force part. I'm not going to lie. So I'm actually genuinely like, huh, that was there in the back of my head that I did know, but kind of he dug it out of my brain. It like felt like something clicked and I was like, oh yeah, she did try. Because that is like that. I know that was one of the biggest things because of your family being, especially your dad being a Marine. So I was like, oh yeah, that's so true. But that was such a long ago conversation. If we're talking about like 10 years ago, that kind of conversation happening.
A little bit more
So,
than 10. A little
you
bit more
know,
than 10, but that's
so
okay.
there's been a lot of memories since then. So good memories, regardless. So
Always.
I do
Always.
want to take the opportunity to move on to our next part. We do want to give some updates, right? We have some updates. We've had some activities this weekend. It was actually mentioned a few times. We do want to acknowledge all our graduates who have made it, right? Either graduated high school, college, university, maybe a vocational training, right? Those things take some time, right? It's just as heavy in terms of like how much time you have to invest and learn to prepare for whatever it is that you are moving towards, right? So we did have a graduation recognition today in our local congregation of Sacramento. So everyone who attended, shout out to you. Shout out to all the families who have a graduate in their family this year. We also had our Christian Family Youth Summit. So what that was an activity for our the Binhi, which are the teenagers ages 12 to 17, and then for our single unmarried adults from 18 to however old you are, as long as you're unmarried. And they got to come together to learn a little bit more about their faith. So we hope that everyone who was able to attend, whether it was yesterday or if it's scheduled for this weekend, please go to it. It's something that you'll learn a lot about yourself. You'll be able to connect with your peers and people your age. So it's a very important moment that I don't think any of you really want to miss. I know for me, I know Miss Hazel would know, and Ate Care would know. We went to as many of those things as we could, and we did learn a lot. We met a lot of people, and it makes you feel like you're not alone in the things that you're going through. So take the opportunity, go for it. So next weekend, we do have other things that are coming up in our district. We do have our firefighter appreciation that Elk Grove will be holding on June 8th. So if you are in Elk Grove and you'd like to join the congregation to appreciate the firefighters in the area, be sure to check them out. Also, if you do have a INC giving shirt, that would be very nice to wear. There's some, I still have my old one from years ago, and I compared it, and I was like, oh, it's so old. It's like so oxidized. I was like, I'm so glad we have a new shirt. So if you have time, you know, the firefighters are very important people in the community, especially here in America. They help take care of any situations where there are fires or any kind of first responder type of situations where you just need help. Okay. Um, that is what we have on the calendar for this weekend and next weekend. We want to take this opportunity to see if there's any other comments that we've seen in the chat before we
Yeah,
close out.
of course. So from early hashtag NCL underscore Reno, Little Big City, giving a big shout out and happy viewing to INC Radio Sacramento. From a Patrick Lorenzo. Hello po to all of the viewers and listeners here on INC Radio Sacramento. From a Febby Panetta, never change the major, but you will enjoy all of the changes of life. Thank you for joining INC Radio Sacramento. Super excited to see everyone on here. From a Emma Lorenzo, hello po from Tracy. Hashtag NCL underscore Tracy. Happy viewing to INC Radio Sacramento. From an brother Armand Tolentino. Happy viewing po from the local congregation of Roseville, District of Northeast California. And from Manuel Salavino from the local of Fairfield. Congratulations to the newlywed couple, brother Tio Francis and sister Charlene Torres. Hashtag NCL underscore Fairfield. Congratulations, you guys.
That's so exciting. Oh, we love seeing or hearing about exciting life events. So that is very exciting. Welcome to the married life. Um, we are reaching the end of our show. But of course, before we close out, we would like to thank our brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our executive minister, brother Angelo Iranio V. Manalo, our CESB president and CFL coordinator, of course, the district staff of Northeast California, and the entire INC radio team, and of course, you, our viewers and our listeners. We hope that you have enjoyed our show, and we hope to see you next week for part 2 of our graduate topic. Get ready, get set, get on INC Radio Sacramento. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, na na